Brisbane.
Brisbane. I think it's a friendly city.
It's an exciting place to live.
Fantastic.
This is ABC Radio Brisbane.
Robyn Ebbern was one of Brisbane and Australia's best tennis players in the 1960s. Now, she reached number 9 in the world in 1964 with major tournament wins in both singles and doubles with Margaret Court.
Now, she might have hung up the racket a while ago, but many believe it's about time she was recognised for her successful career.
Yeah, so a petition has been launched to name a picnic pavilion in Frew Park at Milton there after the tennis star. Robyn's on the phone. Hello, Robyn.
Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Loretta.
Now, I know you're a big fan of Snooze. Did you get it this morning?
No, I very seldom win that one, Loretta.
Never mind, one day, because you're used to winning things, Robyn. How do you feel about this petition to honour you at Milton?
Well, hopefully, if it's successful, it will help to encourage an interest in a tennis career maybe for the young tennis players who visit the park.
How important was Milton to your tennis career?
Oh, so very, very important. I have spent many, many hours at Milton. As a junior, I had my first official tennis lesson there with the QLTA coaching school. I practiced every afternoon after school with some friends, my brother and my sister Sancha, who were both very good tennis players, and many a tournament I've spent there.
So when did you actually first start playing professionally?
I didn't start playing professionally. Well, I was never a professional tennis player. I played during the amateur days, and we did not play for money during my time as a tennis player, and we were purely amateur players. And so my international playing career started in 1961 when I first became the youngest member. I was 16, and I was selected in the Australian women's team to travel overseas with Mrs. Nell Hopman as manageress, and we were the first Australian team to travel since World War II. And there was Margaret Smith, Lesley Turner, Jan Lehane, Mary Rattano, and myself.
That is pretty incredible, Robyn. Only 16 years of age at the time.
Yes.
Were you nervous about taking that trip? It sounds like a big leap. You know, international travel is far more commonplace now, but such a big move in the 60s.
Oh, definitely. I actually left high school from high school clothes into tennis clothes on an aeroplane overseas. And there was not a lot of documentaries on overseas in my day, but I guess I just took it in my stride. I jumped on the plane, went across and started playing on the international circuit.
Unbelievable. And playing Wimbledon, you got to Wimbledon in the doubles with Margaret Court, did you? Yes, Margaret and I were the runners-up in the ladies' doubles in 1963, and that was a wonderful experience, the first time on the centre court. It was crowded. I can remember Margaret saying to me, "Don't look up, Robyn, keep your eyes down." So, yes, it was certainly something you dreamt of when you start playing tennis. Yes, a wonderful experience, Loretta. Yeah, but you retired young, though, didn't you, Robyn? Oh, yes, I retired when I was 23. Yes, I travelled for all those competitive years overseas. And when we went overseas, we used to stay overseas for about 6 months playing tennis. And then we returned to Australia and we played the Australian circuit. And we virtually followed the sun. We went from Australia overseas, back from overseas to Australia. And it was a continuous way of life for many, many years. And I think by the time I reached around 23, I felt as though my travelling days were over. And then I came home to spend time with my friends and family. And then I got married, had 2 children. I worked in the Brisbane City Council for 4 years as a clerk typist. And then I commenced my tennis professional coaching days. And I coached for 30 years. I coached I coached children and adults of all ages. I coached at Clayfield College, Somerville House, all the suburbs out here at the Gap where I now live, at Barden, Ashgrove, and the Gap. So I've had a wonderful tennis career, both playing, and I thoroughly enjoyed my coaching days. And when you got home from overseas travel and then you retired, was it a big deal like it is these days? We've seen Ash Barty retire and people, it was a big news story, obviously, about why she retired. Were you a big star in the day as well? Were there questions about why you gave up? Yes, there was quite a few articles in the paper about it, but it was never gone into as much these days, in my days, as it is these days. You know what I mean?
I really feel it was a different world back then. Our tennis world was a different world to what it is today. It was just a world, you just got on with it, you didn't expect too much. You just played tennis and played tennis. But today it's a much more business-like profession to me.
Yeah. Think about how much money you would have made if you were playing today, Robyn.
Oh, yes. I think my bank account would look healthy. but that's how it was in our day. You know, every generation is different. And in our day, we accepted the way that it was, and we just got on and played the tennis, the game we loved to play.
And I bet you played with a good wooden racket too.
Oh, we certainly did.
Yeah.
And we wore, the wooden racket, the gut strings. We wore the old Dunlop volley sand shoes. Oh, yes. But I mean, it was good fun. As well as being a tough life sometimes, it was a good life. And tennis gave me a wonderful career, you know, wonderful, marvellous experience, travelling the world, visiting different countries, people. You know, I felt as though I was educated in the real world, in the real world of the university.
Yeah.
Of the university of the world.
Of the world, yeah, travelling.
Yes.
Well, Robyn, good luck. We hope this petition is successful for you and that we can get this park pavilion or the picnic pavilion in Frew Park at Milton named after you. epetitions.brisbane.qld.gov.au if you want to look up and put your name on that petition for Robyn to get this area named after her. Robyn, let's hope we see you in the park pavilion next time we speak.
Well, let's hope so. And thank you very much for inviting me onto your program, my favourite radio host. Thank you.
Oh,
well, you're far too kind. And lovely to chat and talk about your career, you know, from such a young age and travelling at 16 in 1961 around the world, retiring at 23, but then that love of tennis continuing into a coaching career for a number of decades. On ABC Radio Brisbane, Robyn Ebbern joining you this morning. It's 8 to 6.